Well, here we are with the Nopales. I've got the pads all cleaned. PlanetCosmo.us. You can go under cooking and see how we clean them, cut the edges. I've got these cut into, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch strips. I then am going to cut these. This is going to be for the Nopales salad, and I'm making 2 today. One of them is, I have made some cucumbers, onions with the sour cream, and vinegar that we'll be adding these to it. But first, these are the thicker pads, and you can tell the thicker pads are a little bit, they're tougher. So what we do with these, make the salad, you want them to be tender. So we'll actually put them in the pot. I'll add water to it. I'll add some salt. Keep it pretty basic and bland. And then I'll go back in and drain them, let them cool. And while that's happening, I'm going to start cutting the onions, tomatoes, cilantro, and then I also have some frito that we can add after it's mixed up, if you so choose. I've got some limes that we'll squeeze over it just to make it bright. There's a lot of options in using the Nopales because it's such a versatile. It's a versatile plant. And these pads, which sometimes are called Nopales leaves, and you can see I'm just cutting them small, trying to be consistent. They'll only boil for like 10 minutes. But I'll have some of these. We're having an event today that we're cooking for, so people can try the Nopales and find out more about it. We're going to be doing a talk, and this is just what we're going to be cooking and sharing with them today. So I wanted to do this video so they can go back and reference it. And also, if you're interested in your club to have us come do it, we also offer that as well. You can contact us at PlanetCosmo.us. We have the books there as well for you to buy. We also have our blog, and on that blog is a features and benefits of why you want to cook and eat Nopales for the health benefits. And they are many. The health benefits include diabetes, sugar levels, also with the fibers and things, your heart. Inflammation, minerals, vitamins. Obviously, they hold a lot of moisture, so the moisture is good for you. Your digestive system. It's all pretty amazing what all this plant does. It's gaining a lot of popularity in the American culture, but has been in the Latin community forever. So we'll do a couple different dishes today. I'm just cutting these up and wanted you to see the process. I'll go ahead and continue cutting, and we'll see you later. Difference between the young pads are they're real flexible, they're thin, they're way tender. The thick pads, obviously you can see they're way thicker. They're a little tougher. So before I cook these, I normally like to blanch them so they become a little tender. And then these for grilling, I will also grill some of these. I will also saute some as well for a mixture of tomatoes, onions, zucchini that I like to saute as well. So it's just a super side dish. And add some salt. You see I've got them chopped up, I've covered them, made sure they had enough water to cover them. I'm gonna take the kosher salt and sprinkle over them. And you cook, I actually use quite a bit of salt when I cook them. Helps draw out the moisture, helps tenderize them, and actually accentuates their flavor. Now what I'm doing is taking the bigger pads, cutting them to like thirds so they fit in the pot. I mean, look how big that is. They're still big enough to throw on the grill and handle once I boil them down. I put them on the grill. Same thing with these. Cut them, put them in the pot, cover them with water, add salt, blanch them off. On these I won't add quite as much salt to them because I'm going to season them when I grill them. So this is a bit of a process just to get them nice and tender. So when you're purchasing your Nopales pads or Nopales leaves, look at the size of this. So I'm not going to use as much salt because I want to make sure that I will be seasoning them once I throw them on the grill. And I'll show you that as well. But when you're picking out pads, now you know the actual difference. Look for the thinner ones, and I'll be showing you the difference between these Nopales and the other ones. Then if you want to plant them, you got to make sure they're calloused on the end, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Whoop, don't want to put my raw tender ones in there yet. Okay. Now I'm moving on to the cilantro. I cut the ends off, and I don't throw them away. I will keep them because I can use them in making the sofrito and all these other things. And it's kind of just like a nice rough chop that you do to it. The cilantro, this is 3 bunches, and I'll use this in a few of the dishes that we're making today. But when I cut, or when I'm making this, I tend to make more than what I'm going to consume that day, and then I'll have it in the fridge, and it lasts if you keep it at temperature, you know, 41 degrees is the safe serve temperature, as you want it below 41 degrees in your fridge, and it should stay for about 7 days, and then you want to use it, share it with your friends. You see all of that, so that's a good bunch of cilantro. Now what I'm doing is cutting up the Roma tomatoes. I'll cut the ends off to get rid of obviously the stem. We'll cut those off, and then I'll cut these up. Now what I'm doing is I've got them all diced up, all cut. I'll cut them into quarters. And the reason I like to cut them into quarters is because when you chop them up, they're fairly easy to cut. I'll cut these a couple different ways. I don't want them too big. I don't want them too small. And they will sweat down, and you see all the juice that's coming from them. I do want the juice in there. And you can see this is the easier way to cut them. Cut the quarters into half and then cut them again. Again, not too small, not too big. All of these will be separate bowls. And then when you start combining them, each one of them will be salted. And when you salt them, that actually draws out some of the moisture. And then that is what becomes part of your juice for your Nopales. What I've done is we blanched off the larger Nopales. You see that it's tender now. So you can see how much easier it cuts. When you boil them and salt them, they're just grand. I mean, the texture. Don't want to overcook them and make them mushy. When you're adding them to salads and things like that, you still want that bit of a crunch to your salad. So just check them. They're fork tender. Pick it up. Good to go. Okay, I used a mandolin to cut these onions really thin and then continued to chop them up. So it's a nice blend within the Nopales salad. So what I've done in the cast iron here is I've cut some onions rough cut. I'm now cutting the zucchini to go in it. I will add a bit of oil to that and start cooking that down. Once that cooks down, I will actually add a little tomato paste, tomato juice to this. And this becomes a really nice side dish for any of your meals. So just a lot of different ways to use the Nopales.